Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Any federal law enforcement officer. Being of or having to do with the northern United States and those loyal to the Union during the American Civil War. A member of the Union Army during the American Civil War. Characterized by or constituting a form of government in which power is divided between one central and several regional authorities. A federal system like that of the United States. National, especially in reference to the government of the United States as distinct from that of its member units. Federal courts. Of or relating to the central government of a federation. A federal district is one set aside as the seat of the national government. Any federal law enforcement officer. The Central Bank of the United States incorporates 12 Federal Reserve branch banks and all national banks and state-chartered commercial banks and some trust companies. Any federal law enforcement officer. Healing process involving the growing together of the edges of a wound or the growing together of broken bones. Being of or having to do with the northern United States and those loyal to the Union during the American Civil War. The act of pairing a male and female for reproductive purposes. A set containing all and only the members of two or more given sets. Let C be the union of the sets A and B. An organization of employees formed to bargain with the employer. You have to join the union in order to get a job. The state of being a married couple voluntarily joined for life, or until divorce. God bless this union. The United States, especially the northern states during the American Civil War. The state of being joined or united or linked. There is strength in union. The act of making or becoming a single unit. The union of opposing factions. A device on a national flag emblematic of the union of two or more sovereignties, typically in the upper inner corner. A political unit formed from previously independent people or organizations. Of trade unions. The union movement. The occurrence of a uniting of separate parts. Lightning produced an unusual union of the metals. A member of the Union Army during the American Civil War. A member of the Union Army during the American Civil War. Situated in or oriented toward the north. The northern suburbs. Coming from the north, used especially of wind. A northern snowstorm. A dialect of Middle English that developed into Scottish Lowlands. In or characteristic of a region of the United States north of, approximately, the Mason-Dixon line. Northern industry. Situated in or coming from regions of the north. The Northern Hemisphere. A person who owes allegiance to that nation. Inside the country. Concerned with or applicable to or belonging to an entire nation or country. The national government. Limited to or in the interests of a particular nation. National interests. Owned or maintained for the public by the national government. National parks. Of or relating to or belonging to a nation or country. National hero. Characteristic of or peculiar to the people of a nation. A national trait. Of or relating to nationality. National origin. A government with strong central powers. Any agent or representative of a federal agency or bureau. The semantic role of the animate entity that instigates or causes the happening denoted by the verb in the clause. A businessman who buys or sells for another in exchange for a commission. Any agent or representative of a federal agency or bureau. An active and efficient cause, capable of producing a certain effect. Their research uncovered new disease agents. A representative who acts on behalf of other persons or organizations. A substance that exerts some force or effect. An American who lives in the North, especially during the American Civil War. An inhabitant of the North. Pull, or move with a sudden movement. An American who lives in the North, especially during the American Civil War. An American, especially to non-Americans. An American who lives in the North, especially during the American Civil War. An American, especially to non-Americans. An American who lives in New England. Used by Southerners for an inhabitant of a northern state in the United States, especially a Union soldier. The act of governing, exercising authority. The persons, or committees or departments etc., who make up a body for the purpose of administering something. The governance of an association is responsible to its members. The act of governing, exercising authority. The act of governing, exercising authority. Regulations for the governing of state prisons. Responsible for making and enforcing rules and laws. Governing bodies. The act of governing, exercising authority. He had considerable experience of government. The organization that is the governing authority of a political unit. The government reduced taxes. The study of government of states and other political units. Government, the system or form by which a community or other political unit is governed. Tyrannical government. The persons, or committees or departments etc., who make up a body for the purpose of administering something. He claims that the present administration is corrupt. The act of meting out justice according to the law. The act of governing, exercising authority. The tenure of a president. Things were quiet during the Eisenhower administration. A method of tending to or managing the affairs of some group of people, especially the group's business affairs. The act of administering medication.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.